money that's there in Vegas to be able to spend on all the bells and whistles and the product. Yeah, just incredible.
Yeah, we have a couple teachers that are in the show.
Oh, really?
So that's what I mean about we have like 70 teachers, but they're all either been there, done that, or they're doing it right now. So it's very cool.
So when he's talking about teachers, when Don's talking about teachers, he's talking about his preparatory school, which we were talking about earlier. Can you tell them what it's called?
It's Theater Arts Preparatory School. We call it TAPS for short. And it's a pre-professional school for 18 and up that want to be pros. So for dancers mainly that want to be professionals. And we do everything, all styles of dance, voice, acting, business. I got 19-year-olds that can't write a check. You know, so business.
So is it music business or just in general?
Yeah, dance industry, acting, theater.
Yeah.
Lot of marketing classes. Dancers don't market.
How to market themselves.
And they don't. The only industry I know of that doesn't market. You think, I don't care if you have a cookie store. You got to market this cookie store.
That's a good, If you're a dancer, you got to market yourself.
You got to market yourself, and they don't. They think video on Instagram's going to do it. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Your friends are going to go, oh, Queen, oh, she's a star. But no, but nobody's going to see it until they're interested in it.
Yeah.
But we even have to go over that because dancers ruin their careers with their social media. So you want to bury yourself real fast, wear your G-string on social media, and employers won't touch you.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with that right now.
And also, Don, a lot of the job, like for us, when you do a lot of shows over and over and over, big part of the job is, you need to be talented and right for the job, but it's the hang backstage. Well, I've worked with a lot of great musicians, singers and stuff that I didn't want to work with because they were just, you didn't want to be around them backstage. You know what I'm saying? So the hang's a big, big, big part.
Especially today. It's probably even worse with the younger generation.
Oh.
And every employer says, I need a good dancer, but I need a great person.
Yeah.
And that happens so much. I had a boy a couple years ago, and I said, I can see you in a show. I can't see you in a cast.
Yeah, that's so true.
It really is. And he's an amazing kid, but boy, he just, hey, get me a soda. Hey, can I borrow your keys to your car? I was like, what? No.
Yeah.
So when you started Kids Rock,
14,
kind of back up,
15 years
isn't that
ago.
crazy?
Right.
And it was
Rainbow Connection before that. Oh,
yes. So you had Rainbow Connection, which was the dance competition,
right?
And then
we went to Country Tonight as a group.
Yes.
Did like a pre-show.
Yeah.
That was that's when I first met you guys.
That's right.
Mid '90s.
Yeah, that's right. Wowzer.
So
and then
it evolved. And Kids Rock was the idea was I got tired of hearing Midwest families. We're going to LA this summer and we're going to see what it's like. Well, you're not going to see what it's like. You're not in the industry.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to go to LA. You're going to spend $4 or $5 grand. You're going to see the Hollywood sign.
Yeah. You're going to be a tourist, basically.
Right. And you're going to maybe take one class somewhere and oh my God, but you're not going to see what it's like. So the idea was to bring LA here. So I would bring 4 choreographers in from New York or LA, do a show really quick because rehearsal time is never enough. So you got 4 days. Nobody cares. We have a show on Saturday. That's it. And give them a glimpse of what it's like. So when you're invited to Kids Rock, that was your audition. Now you have to travel. Now you have to meet a whole bunch of new people, choreographers that you've never worked with before. You have compressed rehearsal time. Let's go and open a show. That's it.
It's work.
It's work. And to give them a glimpse of what actually the process is like. Now it's just a glimpse, but still way cheaper than going to LA and way more beneficial for the dancer, which is always my first criteria. Is it beneficial for the dancer? Some people make decisions on money. I don't make decisions on money. I make it, is it beneficial for the dancer? And if you think that way first, the money will come.
Yeah.
The money will come, but you have to think that first.
it's interesting when I look because I feel like at the beginning of Kids Rock, there was a lot. It was much more strict. There was a lot more need for that, like ballet classes every single morning, ballet classes in the. I'm like, there was a lot more. What do you think's made it change? I mean, I know the kids, and I feel like COVID has really also changed the dance industry in a lot of ways, and the performance industry, I guess I should say.
It changed it in a ton of ways. One, I'm noticing stamina's not there like it used
Exactly.
to be. And I don't know if that's COVID. I don't know if that's vaccine. I don't want to get into any of that, but they don't have the stamina that they did before.
Or the want to or the drive, maybe. I mean,
Well,
things have kind of been handed to the last few years.
you know, we kind of blame the dancer or the kids this age, but I think it's the parents of this age, not really the dancer of this age. Because then when they get out with me,
They're spoon fed.
the entitlement is there. Mom said if I want it, I can have it.
You're the
that's
best.
not true.
Yeah.
That's just not
And
true.
then they're heartbroken when they get in the real world and go, oh, well, mom's.
Even when I turn someone down from the school, which it's a high-level school,
Yeah.
I have to have this level.
Do they audition?
They audition.
So
And
they
the
send in
hardest thing I
videos
do
or
is
reels
say,
or
say no. But
links or what do
they come out.
Oh, they come out and
Yeah.
audition.
No, I like. I don't want to have like okay audition March 18th. You know, they can come out, take class all day, see the area, see the apartments. You know, everybody thinks in Vegas we live on the Strip, right?
Right.
No, it's a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they can take classes and talk to the kids in the program, and I get to see them at our level with our teachers. Do
That's
do
great.
I expect perfection? No. But I want to see how they pick up, how they focus, how they take a correction. I've had people can't take a correction these days. Give them a correction, they sulk for 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
no, just fix it. Let's go. It's not personal.
Yeah.
You know, we're just, the show's the star. You're not the star. The show's the star. If it's not going to better the show, then you won't be here. You just won't.
Yeah.
And that's real life. And so we've tried, and like you're saying, if I said if I'm not going to do this for real, I'm not going to do this. So we do it for real, and we have a 72% job placement.
That's incredible.
It's incredible, and
That
I
is
wish I
awesome.
could tell you I knew. I didn't. I was hoping for 30. I was
Yeah.
hoping for 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because universities can't even get 20. And half the universities don't even know their job placement because they don't follow last year's dancer.
Yeah.
They
Right.
follow next year's money.
Yeah. They don't care.
No,
They're gone.
That's too much work for no money.
Yeah.
I still am in contact with dancers from 9 years ago, 10 years ago. And they'll say, hey, Don, contract looks good. Can you look it over? Sure. You know, like, you don't leave.
Well,
Yeah.
the other day you walked by and that young lady was saying something to you, and she was kind of messing with you a little bit, and you're like, yeah, she danced for me when she was 3 at something. Remember the little dark-haired girl?
Yeah, one of the Kids Rock.
Oh, really?
girls. Yeah.
Okay.
When you know, at competition they put the babies out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at 9 in the morning, and she was 3, and whoever had to go first, which is hard, and they're young.
Yeah.
I used to walk out hand in hand. So I'd walk them out and I put them center stage and I'd say, clap for her. This is her first solo, you know.
Yeah.
Take a bow. Good. Now do your routine. And she's here now. She's 18.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that
It's so
crazy?
crazy. And it goes so fast.
Yeah.
Golly.
And she remembered it. I didn't. You know, I didn't remember it, but it was a big deal for her.
Well, just like Jamie. I ran into a friend of ours that used to work at Legends at Concert, and he's retired from dancing, but he was one of my I loved having him dance I always wanted him to dance at my show.
Jamie.
Right.
And he stopped me in the grocery store the other day. He goes, I just wanted you to know, I used to always talk about Don Mirault. He had this book that I absolutely loved. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, I had this book, and then I found out he was coming to Branson last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I begged Clay to help me get an autograph. He
Yeah.
goes, Don was so busy, and I was just starstruck. I just sat there and stared at him the whole time, and I was trying not to look uncool, but I just couldn't help myself. He was so excited that he got your autograph and talked to you just
I
a little
wrote a
bit about
book
the
in 92 and then another one in 2000. And it's dancing for a living. It's trying to help the younger generation get where they want to go. And, you know, the one thing about your classes or your advice is you don't know where it goes.
Right.
And the book, I've had so many people come up to me and said, this book helped my career. And it's like, I didn't know
So
that.
are we getting a new book for 2024? Or? I mean, the industry's changed so much.
It's changed so much, but you know what we need now instead of a book is like a website. Because by the time I finish the book and publish the book, it's changed again.
again.
That's true.
It changes so fast today that you can't even get a book out. And I self-published.
Oh, wow.
I read a book on how to self-publish.
Wow.
And then I formed a publishing company and self-published because, you know, these publishers want 90% of your book.
Oh, sure.
So I knew I wasn't going to be a bestseller at the New York Times, you know, and so I self-published so I could have the book. And I could give it to universities for half off, and it was still great, half off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Visiting with Don Mirault from Vegas, Kids Rock. Hey, Don, so we have about 9 minutes left.
Okay.
Tell the listeners a little bit about your career starting out young and some of the stuff that you've done. Because you've done some really cool stuff. TV, episodes.
I have been so blessed to do everything I ever wanted in the business.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, now, as an old guy, you know, I have produced, directed, choreographed, taught, written, dance, acting, voice, so much. So I started late, very late, you know, and a lot of people, and I try to tell the kids, a lot of people said, oh, you won't make it, you started too late. They're always going to tell you you don't make it. Your voice has to be stronger in your head than the voices outside. And
How old were you when you
19.
when you first got?
I was 19 when I first started. I was a singer-actor, but I got dared into dance class by some girls in a show. You think you're a big jock, you should go to dance class. I said, please, how hard could that be? It was so hard. It was so hard. But I was 19, and I started dancing. I was on Broadway at 24.
And what was that?
And that was Chorus Line.
Wow.
So I did Chorus Line in New York.
What year was this?
1980.
Wow.
Next year, I'll be 50 years in the business.
God.
And it's so crazy to think. And that was a fluke. I mean, I was in Vegas at the Tropicana Hotel doing the Folie Bergère, and Chorus Line came into town. And a lot of those dancers don't sing or act like we try to push. So I went to this audition, 500 people. It was 5 days long. And I'm hoping, you know, please God, understudy on the road. It'll be great. I got to the last day, and they said, we want to hire you. And I said, terrific. He goes, no, you don't understand. We're sending you to New York. So I left Vegas with the Broadway show.
Golly.
Awesome.
Yeah, and one of the girls in the cast let me sublet her apartment. So I went to New York with the two hardest things to get: an apartment
and a job
and a Broadway show.
Wow.
Yeah, and talk about a break. That was the break.
So how long did you do that run?
I did it for a year.
And then what?
And then they had a tour that was ending up in L.A. for 3 months.
Chorus Line?
Yeah. So I asked to be on the tour. And I went to L.A. 3 months. I marketed. Imagine. I sent out cards to agents and casting people. If you want tickets to the show, come see. Agents were coming backstage. Hey, if you need anything. And then I thought, I've got to jump off here. I'll never have a better jump off place in L.A. So I stayed, and I left a $2,500 a week job in 1981.
Wow.
And I thought, are you insane?
That does sound insane.
Who is ever going to pay you that much money ever again
That's like $5,000
in
now.
your life?
Yeah.
Right. But I had to, you know, because I wanted to be in film and TV. And so I left.
And you had the stamina at the time, and you were there, and
I left. I had an agent, Beverly Hills agent. I had casting people that have seen my work, so it wasn't like I have to prove myself. So many people knew me already. Started. I got a job on General Hospital. Remember Knots Landing?
Yes.
I did Knots Landing.
absolutely.
I did all these little TV shows. Not little TV show, but TV shows.
The Golden Girls?
Golden Girls, Star Trek, Hogan Family, Saved by the Bell, CSI, you know, all of these shows. And I got to, you know, guest star on the shows, which was great. But I didn't quit the dance either. So I ended up doing Chicago on an equity tour. And I played Fred Casely in Chicago. And then a show called Baby that I got to do as well. I was Joe Hardy in Damn Yankees.
Wow.
You know, so I got to still do theater and television and film, but it was really what I wanted. And that was a big help. Some movies as well. And it just kept going, you know, it kept going. And I got to work with Bob Fosse and Michael Bennett.
Oh, wow.
And Michael Peters. Do you know who Michael Peters
I
is?
know the name.
You bet you do, because he did Beat It and Thriller and Smooth Criminal and PYT. And he was Michael Jackson's choreographer. And I got to do 3 shows for him.
Wow.
And even though Michael Bennett has 27 Tonys or whatever, you know, Michael Peters was my favorite.
Yeah.
And Tina, you would love this. He could make Step Touch look like something you've never seen.
I can't even imagine.
You know, and you realize I'm just doing Step Touch. But it has so much in it that you just can't. He was brilliant.
Now,
Brilliant
see,
guy.
I'm just a country bumpkin, but being married to a dancer,
Right.
Bob Fosse, to me, just like a dummy that doesn't know a lot about it,
Right.
his moves were the coolest moves to me. Just the simple these little things,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean?
And
just,
you know,
I sometimes I go around the living room just going,
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Well, I have to teach the young people to dance history because they don't know anybody.
Yeah.
They don't know anybody.
yeah.
But
It was funny. I was in one of our rehearsals, and I said, "Y'all, haven't you guys seen Kevin Bacon?" And they're all looking at me. I'm like, "You all have not seen Kevin Bacon?
No, they don't
Have
know
you
who
not
that
watched Footloose?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
well, the
You
day
guys have
that
gotta get out.
the day that a young person says who's Michael Jackson is the day I quit. That's the day I say, "Okay, I'm
That's
done."
gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen because he hasn't put out anything lately.
Don. Hey, I did a street interview 2 years down there, and I was just I pulled this. He was 19, and just started asking random questions, and I said, what I say, George Jones or Garth Brooks?
Right.
I don't know. I'm like, you know who George Jones is? No. I said Garth Brooks. He goes, no.
Yeah.
2 years ago, a 19-year-old didn't even know what the name Garth Brooks was or who he was, or even. I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Well, you know, and I was getting back to that, was you liked the Bob Fosse moves. But
Yeah.
if you look at Jack Cole, Fosse stole him.
Real? Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, Fosse stole so much of the style from a Jack Cole. Now, you have a Bob Fosse, and I try to tell the kids, Bob Fosse had no turnout and no extension, and he's a legend.
Yes.
If you had no turnout and no extension, you'd never work. But you won't see a fan kick with Bob Fosse because he couldn't do one. You know, so here's a guy with no turnout and no extension that became a legend in dance. What can you do that he did?
He made his own little style, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he created his own stuff, but he stole a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, we all take what
We
our
Everything's
predecessors
morphed.
and then
That's
add
right.
ourselves to it.
put a little
But
something.
nobody made up Pot of Beret. Nobody,
Right.
nobody created that.
That's true.
So we all did it. But it's funny, and I make them say, okay, where did Bob Fosse get his style from, and make him research and make them see who's Jerome Robbins, Michael Kidd, and all of these people that they need to know.
So we have 1 minute. If there's parents listening or young kids listening and they're interested in coming to your school, how would they go about that?
TheaterArtsPrepSchool.com.
TheaterArtsPrepSchool.com.
Prepschool.com.
And is that THEATER or
ER,
RR?
TH,
Okay.
yeah, ER. And then hashtag taps the school,
Okay,
because they're all Instagram people now.
that's right.
Yeah. Hashtag taps the school. You'll see our 72% job placement. You'll see testimonials from alumni, from parents. The kids are working all over the world. All over the world.
Well, Tina's hired many that
Yeah.
went through your program and now have been working with us for years. I mean, I don't know, over half a dozen at least that we've hired that's been through Don's program.
It's it makes me tear up. So many, you know, I get emails every morning from, hey, Don, I'm in Barcelona. Thank you so much. Wouldn't be here without you. Oh my God. You know, like,
That's awesome.
That's what I always wanted, and that's what we have. So the book came out in 92, so 32 years I've been trying to help young people get where they want to go.
That's
That's
so
awesome.
cool.